So for Badgley, Mischka 2011 spring, we're doing a matchy-matchy look. Fingers and toes are the same, and we are layering color, which is something that a lot of people have been doing, which is great because it gives you a little more out of your nail wardrobe. But for the show, we wanted to expand on what Tom is doing with the beautiful eyes, sort of silvery blue, the gorgeous cheek. So we start with a base that's like an opaque beige, and after that we layer this super sheer. This is called Fashion from Deborah Lippman, and this is called Glitter in the Air, and this won't be coming out till spring 2011. And it's a sheer blue, and it has little salmon and little blue like sparkles in it. So it just picks up the light. It kind of goes with what Tom's doing, and it gives that glamour that Badgley Mischka is known for. And it's very fashion forward, which is what the boys wanted.
Okay.
The inspiration, White Mischief, the movie with Greta Saatchi. 70s, colonial Africa. Posh English women who've gone out there, their husbands are kind of off farming, doing tobacco, digging in the ground, chasing the dream. And Mark and James have taken this, and they've got all these sort of floaty, diaphanous gowns, and what they've done really interestingly is popped their regular Mark and James collection, the diffusion collection, into the main collection. So they've got this pentameter wheel, show a couture piece, then they're going to show a daywear piece. So we kind of came up, and it was really the 70s that kicked it off. And the idea of Kate Bush with that sort of big, the flat on top and curly hair, big curly. I didn't want it to be frizzy. So it was like, down to the product use and what I was using to make the curl crisp, so that we get a much softer, more tactile, rather than a frizzy texture. We get like a texture where you get bouncy curls, so you can actually see the curl in between, even though it's going to be diffused, because we're going to comb it out with a full comb. We just don't use a brush. If you brush it, it goes to frizz. You'll get the volume, but you'll get that frizzy kind of, nobody really wants frizzy hair. But using the product in layers, we're using the styling hydrating cream as a base with a spray over the top, much like you would varnish on wood. On the way to finish, here's one we did earlier. So you can see we've got much tighter curls in the nape of the neck, building up to slightly bigger curls. So it's a 5/8 iron in the back and a ½ inch through the top.
An uptown woman going to Studio 54, basically. A light layer of foundation that we powder. The powder is very important, not to create a matte finish, but it's very important because we are playing with a couple of eyeshadow and especially blushes who are very powerful, and you do not want to create patches. So by having a very dry skin, it will help to apply the blush and the eyeshadow without having too much mistakes. Eyebrow, nothing. We leave them the way they are. Mascara, a lot of black mascara on the top lashes. On the entire eyelid, we are playing with 3 different eyeshadows. Very shimmery, very metallic. A silver, a beige, and a gold. This because I want a strong effect, a strong shimmer, but I don't want too much of a contrast between the skin tone and the eyeshadow. And if you use only silver, the silver is very strong, so it creates the kick, but the beige and the gold help to make it more sensual, less aggressive in a way. 2 blushes, a pretty bright kind of pinkish blush and a peach blush, less bright, that we're mixing together. First of all, to warm up the pink, and also since the pink blush is very rich in pigment, you avoid the mistakes of being like becoming clown. But I still want that power, Studio 54, and it's all over the temple and on the cheeks. And the lipstick is a peach-orange color on the lips. It's between a gloss and a lipstick. The application is like a gloss, but the texture is very creamy, almost like a lipstick who have melt, into a lip gloss tube.